We're hot.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gamers and non-gamers, and anybody else in that spectrum. I am Johnny.
And I am BaronJ67.
And you are tuned in to the StarCrossed Gamers podcast. Baron, how you doing, good buddy?
Man, it has been too long, and that is my fault. I'll take all the blame for that. But I am actually doing pretty good, man. Life has been on the up and up. A lot of work in a lot of places that I did not think I would be anytime soon. But it feels great. How about yourself, man?
Man, I have had a pretty interesting time between our last recording and now. Had a birthday, became a caffeine caster, and yeah, everything's looking on the up and up. So definitely thrilled about all that stuff.
Man, this guy's got the gold emblem.
Exactly, and I've gotten some good gaming in, so I'm sure we'll be able to talk all about that upcoming.
Man, okay, so speaking on gaming, now that we're getting into we're officially in the fourth quarter, not the fiscal quarter, but the fourth quarter of the year. We got the consoles around the corner. We got a bunch of heavy hitting games around the corner. You got your annual sports games coming, and then you have titles such as Cyberpunk, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. What else? I mean, it's ridiculous. And then don't even get me started on all the indie titles. I mean, we're a few weeks out of the PAX Online conference and all the demos that came out of that. What games are you looking forward to?
A game I've been looking forward to for quite a while now. It technically came out already, but only within the last couple days. Star Wars Squadrons. The spaceship combat game.
Okay.
It looks fun, obviously, because it's Star Wars, and I eat up Star Wars for breakfast. But
sure,
it's kind of like in the old Battlefronts, both the old school series and the new, they always had the space battles, and I gravitated to those quite a lot. And it's just, flying a TIE fighter, shooting down X-Wings. You can't get any better than that. So now that they have a whole game dedicated to it, it looks pretty cool. But I will just say, though, not a fan of forced first person. I've played more than enough No Man's Sky and other games like that to know that I do not fly well in first person. And for what I'm hearing, they're not going to do third person, so that's a big shame. But
wow,
if it does, I know they're sticking to their guns. But you know what? If they do at some point, or maybe there's a modder out there that just adds it, I'll be on board. But that's what I've been looking forward to. What about you, Baron? Is there any games on your skips?
You know what? Just want to touch on that Squadron game. I actually listen to a lot of Mr. Matty Plays. I've been watching him since before Fallout 4, and that was in 2015. So I've been watching that guy for a while now, and he actually spoke kind of highly of the Squadrons game, and he was like, I guess the title of his YouTube video was EA actually made a good Star Wars game, like. So to hear him praise it is actually high praise, in my opinion, because that's when it comes to reviews, especially as somebody who reviews games and somebody who doesn't play as many games as I would like to. When it comes to trusting people's opinions, I stick to a few people who like similar games as me, look at games the same, like a similar way as me. So now it's easier for me to trust their opinion. It doesn't feel so out of left field. But back to what I'm waiting on. I'm slowly trying to stay off of the hype train for Cyberpunk 2077. It's actually really been easy because I do my best not to think about it. And which is weird because here it is, you know, I consider myself the RPG gamer. I make content on YouTube. I live stream. I do, you know, we do podcasts such as this. And I've actually done my best to absolutely avoid as much content as possible. Like, I think I've only watched one Night City video update. I've been staying away from a lot of the content because I don't want to spoil it for myself. I really want to be able to jump in and just enjoy it.
Okay, yeah, understandable.
And
so,
then, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna ask, like, what about the game, enthralls you? Like, what are you looking forward to about it?
Okay, it actually looks like a bigger, what's the game I'm talking? A bigger Deus Ex, because I don't expect much in terms of shooting and combat, because I expect at the most. Oh, it's an echo. Oh, let me see. Johnny, are you listening to our audio twice? Let me see.
No, sir.
No, sir. Are you still getting the echo? Anybody still getting the echo? Because that could be my fault then. Are you getting the echo, Nino?
Oh, I think that was just like a no more echo. Okay.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. But yeah, so I actually technical difficulties, but no,
Yeah,
I am looking forward to a dope open world experience. The map actually just leaked. It was spread out all over Twitter, and it was actually pretty cool. Oh, it's on my side. It's an echo on my side. Huh. Johnny, go ahead and tell me more about Squadrons and what about it actually caught your attention.
Right. I watch a Star Wars content creator, and he kind of covers another game, but he tried out Squadrons, and from his gameplay, it does look very fun. It is the classic dogfighter sim, I guess, if that's a term. What I can best compare it to, I quoted the original Battlefronts, but something else that it's very close to is the old X-Wing and TIE Fighter games. So it's very simple. You know, there's dogfight, pure and simple, and then there is the I don't know what it's called, fleet battles, which is kind of like old school Battlefront 2. You have a ship, a capital ship, and some support vessels, and the enemy also has those things, and you take turns bombarding the capital ship and escort frigates, and whoever destroys the enemy ships first wins. So that looks very cool, just as a premise, because man, space battles in Star Wars are probably like the only reason people watch Star Wars. It's just so cool. And there's a lot of customization with the ships. And you get like little holo projectors like on the sides. You get like little decals on the ships. You get to customize your pilot. Not necessarily with his appearance, but his outfit. I'm sorry, I mean like his genie. To fly 4 different fighters on each side. You get like X-Wings, Y-Wings, and stuff on the Rebels, and you get like TIE Fighters, TIE Interceptors, and stuff on the Empire side. So it's all very I wouldn't say complicated. It's all very streamlined and very cool. And are you back online?
Yeah, I think so. And I'm trying to figure out why I'm still if I'm still getting an echo. And folks, let me know if I am. I apologize. I don't know what's going on. But what's so dope about that, man, is the whole concept of that's what we said has been missing from No Man's Sky. is like the customization of ships.
Absolutely.
And I'm really still trying to figure out why we're getting echo. Because I can see it's funny because when you talk, I light up green.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's like I'm hearing you twice, but I don't know where else I'm hearing you.
Do you have my stream open?
Yeah, but I have it muted.
Oh, okay.
That is so weird.
You wouldn't be in a StarCrossed Gamers podcast without some level of technical difficulty.
Exactly. That's why I'm not stressing too much, and hopefully it's not too bad to where it's completely unbearable. And if it is, folks, I totally apologize. But what was I gonna say? Okay, so but with Cyberpunk 2077, my expectations for it are not very. It's not that it's super high, because I'm doing my best to avoid the hype train, which I kind of said earlier. I'm really just expecting a decent shooter with high levels of customization and stat checks that really matter. Like that's all I'm looking for. That's all I'm asking for. I'm not expecting anything else, nor do I want anything else. Like I just want to keep it simple at that.
Yeah, and do you think it's gonna be as simple as that, or do you think they're gonna make it another like over the top ordeal?
I think it's gonna be over the top. I think it's gonna have. I think we're gonna run into an issue of the game won't be what they promised until like the middle of next year. I hope that's not the case. I hope I'm absolutely wrong, but if I'm being honest with myself, that's something I truly believe, because I could totally see them running into that problem of trying to chase perfection and constantly wanting to add this and add that, and oh, we can do that, and oh, we can do this, and oh, maybe if we add one more mission, oh, this gun needs to look like this, and that, just becoming a victim to their own monster.
That is not the angle I thought you were going to go with that. I thought you were going to go along the classic, rush the game out, fix it as you go, and of course charge people for those DLCs. I thought that's the angle you were going there, but no. Hopefully, it's like that, and hopefully it's all free.
Yeah, that's what I'm really hoping for, because I know they promised no. I know they made that promise of not having what's the phrase I'm looking for, microtransactions, but then they broke that promise. And we can jump into that with CD Projekt Red, because a lot of promises were broken. And it's a weird thing of, okay, you told us that you weren't going to do crunch, right? That's a big issue that's going on in the industry with creating games, is this whole crunch overtime issue. You told us that, and then you lied. You end up, you were supposed to be that bastion of hope, the last people, the last great company to not treat their people like overworked, undervalued people in the last minute just because you don't know how to properly plan your scheduling. But that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what they did. And it absolutely sucks that that's the way it played out.
It's the classic phrase: you either die a hero or live long enough to become a villain.
And that's exactly what it was, bro. It's so nuts that that's what they became.
And it's a real shame, because I was never the biggest fan of CD Projekt Red. I mean, I'm not trying to throw shade. I just haven't played their games, so I don't have that connection with them. But from what I hear from other people, they were supposed to be really good, and it's a real shame that relations are souring.
Yeah, man, and you know what it is? It could be something as simple as they became so big that it was hard to avoid? Like, is it one of those things where at the end of the day, no matter what happens, you get big enough, you run into these problems?
But you would think, just going off of pure logic, and I'm sure there are reasons why it's not like this, but you would think if there are more people, there would not be such a crunch, because there's more people to evenly distribute the workload.
And that's where there's a big issue of maybe they're being cheap. Because that's often, when companies get bigger, and then especially if you have stockholders, which I don't think they're a publicly traded company. I think they're like heavily backed by their government. If I'm not mistaken, and I could be completely wrong, let us know if you know the right answer. Google is available, but I'm just being a bum because I'm trying to figure out this audio issue along the same lines. But I really believe it's something as simple as you got big, everybody noticed you, and you showed you can make money with The Witcher 3, and now you wanted to top that, but you wanted to top it in a completely new field, and maybe you bit off more than you can chew. Because you wanted to create a whole new intricate world, which I'm grateful for. Take those shots, take those chances, take those leaps. But at the same time, it's like you got to be honest with yourselves, and you have to not, like, you can't be cheap everywhere.
No, yeah, you definitely gotta. There are definitely things in life that you cannot rush, or you cannot put only a little bit of effort into. You have to. There are some things you have to do right, and managing a company with a reasonable schedule and keeping to promises. I never thought that would be something that you definitely need to work on, but apparently it is. Just be good. I think that's the moral of the story there.
Yeah, man, and stick to your, either keep your mouth shut, because let's be real, the whole reason they're catching CD Projekt Red is actually catching a lot of flack, or caught a lot of flack, because social media moves news on pretty fast. The reason they caught so much flack was the simple fact that they came out and promised we wouldn't ever use crunch because we believe in people's humanity and this, that, and the third, and being a good, no, we're gonna employ, we're good to our people, which, saying all the right things. But then push come to shove, now all of a sudden you got the biggest game of this current generation, and or the end of this generation, current generation, going into the next. Like, we're looking at a potential, I don't want to put this much pressure on it, but which I doubt it will be this big, but you're looking at a Grand Theft Auto moment, because that was one of the last games of 2 generations ago that rode that line of releasing right before the new consoles. Then it rode the wave of the new consoles, and then it pushed forward into now it's going to be on the next generation of consoles. Still probably full priced, which is absolute bonkers to me. I do not understand that, and I don't condone it at any level.
Yeah, who's really buying it 3 times over?
I mean, I can't talk too much crap because I did buy Skyrim on. Only place I haven't bought Skyrim was PC.
Oh wow!
So I have it on my
Skyrim.
Yeah, I have it on my Switch. I have it on my Xbox, and I believe I had it on my 360 because I had it on 360 and PlayStation 3 because, remember, you couldn't play everything on PlayStation 3. None of the DLCs worked for like a whole year. I don't know if you remember that.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I did own it on 360.
Bro, let me tell you, all the DLCs did not work. Like, literally a whole year. I owned it on PS3 and ended up going and getting on the Xbox 360 just to be able to run everything. And then I was using the Kinect and using the voice quick inventory and all that other stuff. Quick left sword, and yeah, it was fun.
Food throat down.
I didn't go that far because I don't think the Kinect understood me. It was probably more of a just user error, or they weren't ready for my vernacular. But yeah, believe me, I was having fun. Use potion. I forgot all the catchphrases. And then the quick inventory, and I love the quick inventory. It made the game more immersive.
Yeah, like it's very immersive to talk to yourself to equip items.
Yeah, it feels good. Not gonna lie.
But you know what? I just remembered. We're never gonna have a problem with Elder Scrolls and Fallout games, for that measure, having problems with Xboxes.
Bro, I'm so happy that Xbox picked up the Bethesda.
I am as well, and you wouldn't think so, but I'm really excited about it.
Like that was one of the biggest acquisitions that I absolutely needed to happen, and I didn't realize I needed it to happen. It was a thing of it went from Xbox was always getting laughed at to now Xbox immediately is running the next generation.
Oh yeah.
And then Game Pass.
I don't know if that's true. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but I did hear, and I don't know if it's like super confirmed, like maybe you heard it and can confirm, but apparently with this acquisition, no more PlayStation adaptations.
And you know what? You don't spend $7 billion because they spent 7.5 billion with a B in order to buy the publishing and everything for ZeniMax. Thank God ZeniMax was a private company at the time, because if they were publicly traded, the sale probably would have either costed more or probably wouldn't have went through. Because I could see shareholders saying, well, why don't we just stay on all consoles? More money for us as individuals. But this is so good for Xbox, because what I'm most excited about is seeing day one on for Game Pass. Available day one, Game Pass. That's all I'm waiting to see on every new title to come out on on Xbox. Is everything Bethesda releases for the next ever will say day one on Game Pass. Doom is already back on Game Pass. Dishonored 2 is getting ready to come back. We're probably gonna get Skyrim on Game Pass. Hopefully we get all of the console Elder Scrolls on Game Pass. That would be fun.
Yeah, it would be, I guess. But as you know, I'm not like the biggest fan of Game Pass, because I'm just not a fan of subscription services. But you know what? You're excited about Game Pass, and more power to you, buddy. As long as you're happy, I'm happy.
And let me tell you, for those who are on the fence about Game Pass, the easiest sell I got for you, if you buy 3 full price games a year, get Game Pass Ultimate. It's as simple as that. 3 full price games a year, $60 price games is a year worth of Game Pass. And if you game heavily on Xbox, you've already got your value. Because the cool thing is you'll get to play all the games day one, no extra cost, and you'll actually be open and able to try more titles. And then on top of that, once again, I'm not sponsored by these people. When something's a good service, I'm all for it. It's not even a hesitation, because it's a simple thing of value. I know for a fact that before Game Pass, I was buying 3 full games a year. That on the minimum. Hell, there's months where I would buy 3 games in a month. Would I play them? Probably not. But I would freaking buy them. That's my recommendation. It's a lot of good value. I mean, if you look right now on Game Pass, you have Gears 5. I think all the Gears of Wars, actually. Grounded, You have Wasteland 3. You have Final Fantasy 7, not the remake, the original. You have Final Fantasy 15, Dragon Quest, and then you just title after title, and then now we're getting Doom Eternal, which that is official. I think as of October 1st, that's on there. And then you got Dishonored 2 coming back, and who knows? I really believe we're gonna get all the Elder Scrolls. I think they're gonna throw a lot of the classic Bethesda ZeniMax games on the Game Pass, and it's gonna be ridiculous. Like I'm ready for Fallout. I'm ready for all of it.
Yeah. Well, as long as it's being open for more people, more power to them. Because Fallout and Elder Scrolls, great games.
Hell yeah.
Or franchises.
Hell yeah. Even the classics are fun. It's not for everybody, you know. Like I know my first introduction to Fallout was Fallout 3, like most other people. Fallout 3 was a hell of an experience. Even though the game was like brown and green the entire game. But damn, the color. It's funny. I didn't realize how bad the colors were until somebody pointed it out. The color palette was literally green, white, and brown.
It was a very questionable decision looking back, but I see where they were going with it. You know, just like the apocalyptic, like maybe radioactiveness of the new environment. I don't know.
Exactly. Just sitting there like making the world glow. Everything had a hue to it. And then Vats was green too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you want to think about it, just kind of logically, you know, post-apocalyptic Washington, D.C. that just got, well, not just, but was nuked, probably wouldn't be too pretty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know what, dude? Long story short with that, this move, more accessibility, more value, more bang for your buck. Streaming services are absolutely the future. I personally believe, and I've said it a million times on any platform they'll allow me to say it, I truly believe we are witnessing Blockbuster versus Netflix all over again. And I have a crazy, wild theory. You know, what's the phrase that people say? Here's my not
50 cents?
Nah, there's a I'm clearly hungry. There's a phrase people use, and it's pretty funny. Oh, here's my hot take. I believe that if Sony does not double down on PlayStation Now and start putting their first party title, even if they charge more, I'm gonna be real with you. What's so sad about Sony fanboys, Sony could charge $20 a month and people would pay it to access all the first party titles. I could see it happening. It sounds crazy. People say no, but I mean, people were paying $30 to watch a movie they already subscribed to the service for on Disney Plus. Like that's
Plus.
Like people paying $15 a month for Disney Plus. Then you go and pay $30 just to watch a movie and have access to it for, I think, like a day, 2 days. That's crazy. On top of the $15 you already pay. And then you don't even own the movie. That's just to watch it. And then let's be real. Do you ever own your digital content?
Well, I guess that's true. But I don't know. You know, most people don't always have like just one subscription service. It'll be $15 for Disney Plus, $15 for Xbox Game Pass. It's just like they add up, and if you, I mean, obviously, you know, spend within your means, but if you don't have like the most high income job in the world, I feel like that can eventually, that stuff can chip away at your GDI pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah, of course. And this is the thing, though. At the end of the day, it's always a matter of what works for you. And like, I know with my situation, I have all of that. I have Disney Plus, I got Netflix, I have Game Pass, I got a bunch of services, but I don't have cable. So at the end of the day, it balances out with internet. I'll probably pay like for a low internet cable deal package, like if I'm being honest with myself, which makes sense to me because it's more beneficial because I get exactly what I want. And then the cool thing is, as long as you utilize it, if it's being used, it don't hurt. It's you're getting your money's worth. Like, I look at Game Pass. I'm going to use Game Pass. Game Pass is saving me so much money, but then at the same time, it's not, because now I'm gaming on PC, and I buy a bunch of PC games I'm not about to play, and then now I'm downloading a bunch of PC games off of Game Pass PC that I'm not going to invest as much time into, and that's whether it's due to me writing, content creating, or freaking just playing my backlog. My backlog is... I need a pow as deep as my backlog is.
Man, I'll help you. Tear away at that backlog. I'm running out of games to play.
Oh, I couldn't imagine. I think the last time I had a moment where I just like, real talk. It was probably Grand Theft Auto 5. Right when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out. That's around the time when I just stopped just beating games left and right. Because to be honest, shun me if you must, I haven't beat GTA 5. I know what happens.
Is that possible?
Yeah, there's an ending, and I haven't experienced it. Yeah, now that I think about it. That was another hot take. But I enjoyed just walking around. But then I took it personal when they did the whole upgrade thing. And then the new console came out, and then there was that big dry spell, and I didn't feel like spending more money on GTA 5. So I was like, screw it. And then I like struggled on Xbox until The Witcher came out. And then of course at that point you got college, you got life, you got this, you got that, and you know how that boat floats. So then I've been backlogging ever since.
No, well, that's good. See, I mean, my general philosophy. Well, I don't know if it's a philosophy or not. I don't know. I'm pretty tired, but the way I do it is that I buy maybe 2 games a year or something, and I just put those in the rotation of games that I kind of play, and. Once I've put like 60 hours into a game, then I'll move on to something else that I've already have like 300 hours in. And I just keep rotating, and eventually it gets boring, and you have to kind of like transition a new game in there once in a while. But man, just like same games that on rotation. That's the way I do it.
And you know what? You bringing that up, actually, there's another element to that. Is I got into a bunch of games that had very large post in-game content. Like I think about Starbound, I think about Dark what was that damn game? I'm even playing it again. Dragon's Dogma, Dark Arisen. I'm thinking XCOM. Like, it's funny. XCOM, if you let it, will be very long. It has the capability of being a very long game. Or you can meta it, or you can max min it and rush through the story, or you can just like play as long as you want, which all these things are all very possible. And I got into a lot of those games. Like Starbound, I was a early access person for that, and I played through so many generations of the game, and then I think the full release came out maybe like 3 years ago. and even playing it again with the full story. I remember just kind of just picking a character, starting off, and kind of just going out in space. And I think the game used to just start you off on like a broke down ship over a planet, and you would need to go down there, harvest what you needed, and then get the fuel and start traveling the galaxy. But now the game has a full blown story, similar to No Man's Sky, and you know, finally reaching that full potential in which they were promising. Man, that No Man's Sky update, I've only played a little bit of it because of course I had a couple of the games to review, but damn, they really did it. You know, they finally are like hitting that full stride of what the game was meant to be.
What did they really add? I didn't really look at the patch notes.
They added in more variety of planets and fauna and flora. And then they finally added in sandworms. They added in like storms, like full blown. Like I've seen a meteor shower. I've seen lightning storms.
Like none of the like super storms or whatever that you have to go hide from, but just like regular rain.
Nah, like actual storms. It was cool seeing lightning hitting the off in the distance, and then seeing like a meteor shower, and I believe I caught it on stream, or caught a recording of it, and I know I need to upload that because I don't know if that's something that people probably by this point they know a lot about, but it's that game is one of those ones that I put out. I tell people, I'm like, because people ask me about it, you know, because I talk about it or I play it or I put up content. Like, people still play that game, and I'm like, you know, it's not for everybody. I wouldn't at all recommend it to any and everybody. But if you stargaze on any level, if you constantly look up, if you like Minecraft, if you like resources and farming and base building or spaceship flying or economy, like, it's got it all there for you. And the shooting mechanics have gotten better, and then the gun variety is actually like really high. I know my favorite weapon right now is it's like a living gun type thing that I have. I still don't have a living ship though, now that I think about it.
Yeah, but I feel like that's pretty much more cosmetic than anything.
True.
Man, I don't know about you, but this past No Man's Sky update, it seems a little poorly optimized to me, because beforehand I was able to run the game smoothly, no problems whatsoever. But plugging in now, it's laggy. I had to turn down the graphics settings because it was just kind of...
Oh, wow.
I don't know what the term is, just like sluggish or something. Something tells me it's like just the optimization or something on the back end.
Which makes sense.
Something is off, and hopefully they bug fix and put that out there soon, because it's a fun game. And, like, you know, I have a newer PC still. I don't know if... Yeah, it could still be considered new. But, so it should not be having any problems with this game so far. Because, you know, it's an older game, and it's not so graphically demanding. But for some reason, now it is. So, definitely they need to take a look at it.
Yeah, they definitely need a hot fix, because that's a problem. And I can imagine why. Them adding in so many more random events, and then even so, what if the random events they added were static? Because you remember a big thing, and a lot of people didn't see it problematic, but I know for us it was kind of confusing because we would run the game a lot together. So I'm on the same planet as you, looking at you, and yet I'm in a storm and you're not.
Yeah, I was playing with a buddy last night, and we had a similar event still happen.
Yeah, see, that's if we're being honest, that's a problem, because it kind of ruins the whole experience. Like, here it is, like, oh dude, come over here. It's like, no, I can't. It's 1,000 rads right now per second. Like, I need to kick back until this is done and over with. And Of course, I think though, once again, Sean Murray and the people at Hello Games, God bless them, because they caught holy hellfire, and I think it was more of they bit off more than they can chew in terms of, hey, remember when they first came out, they were pushed as a big Sony exclusive. Like they were pushed like a AAA Sony exclusive. They had the commercials for it, the media rounds, procedurally generated galaxy, whole universe. If you see it, you can go there. Like really, and that was true. They didn't lie about that. But the problem was a lot of the things they promised weren't there. But I think that was more of because they got the Sony stamp and Sony gassed them up and put a lot of money behind them, that it came off like, hey, this is going to be a complete and perfect release. Buy it, be ready. We're here, we're coming. And that's not at all what happened. But I'm glad they didn't give up. And if they can thug it through these last 4 years, I know they'll definitely come up with a hot fix. Hopefully sooner rather than later, in order to make sure everything is right with this game, because it's worthy of it. It's a hell of an experience. It's a lot to do. I know for myself, there's a lot of aspects to the game that I haven't even fully taken advantage of. I mean, in this run through on PC, I believe I'm over 60 hours in, and I haven't even done most of the main missions. So,
well, don't feel bad about that. I think just, at least to me, the story is just so boring.
Yeah.
Because they wrote it before any of the NPCs and stuff were in the game, so it's just reading terminals and talking to, what was it, holo recordings, or reading the transmissions of people. It's just oh my god. It's like reading a book, the game. If you're into it, I guess that's that's fine, but I'm definitely not. I want more action.
And you know what? For me, at this point in time, the game is what I wanted it to be. Anything more, which I do believe we're going to get more. I think they put a lot into this, and I doubt they'll ever fully just stop updating it. Unless they create a number 2, which I can't even imagine how that would work. Because what would be bad about that is if because we know you're going to reuse your procedural generation system. We know you're going to reuse your engine. So technically, are you giving us an update, or are you giving us another title?
It'd be like Call of Duty syndrome, where it's what's really changed here?
Yeah, we added this, and now it's a better shooting mechanic, and it's well, you could have just updated the one I have all the hours into.
Yeah, somehow each new installment into COD, I don't know why I'm picking on them, but I don't know, they're out there, right? So, but somehow each and every new Call of Duty is a technological breakthrough, and each and every game just has new features that is groundbreaking and never before seen and stuff. Just oh man, we know it's not.
And that's the crazy part about it. And people, so now jumping onto the whole $70 thing, because this is actually a great transition. I really blame the casual gamer for the justification for the price increase on games, because you have a large amount of people who are getting ready to buy a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X or Series S simply to play FIFA, 2K, Madden, or Call of Duty. Now, do I think less of these gamers? No. If I'm being honest, no. But let's call it what it is. they are the ones who are going to push this whole $70 narrative, because these are games that they invest. I know a lot of people who only buy 2 games a year, and it'll be either Madden and 2K, or the show and 2K, or Madden, 2K, NHL, like or Call of Duty and 2K. Like every year I'm buying those games. And if that works for you, that's fine. But those people only buying 2 games then turn around and justify spending microtransactions. And then it turns into this whole snowball thing. Like, most hardcore gamers aren't spending that much money on microtransactions. Maybe now that's changed with the whole cosmetic craze. I never thought cosmetics would take off the way they have. I really didn't.
I don't know, it's harmless enough. You know, it's not like game changing, and it's no unfair advantages or whatnot.
True, but now it opened the floodgates. Like, well, if they're willing to pay for a shirt, what if how much would they pay to get extra points to add to their character's speed in like 2K? You know, like it opened the floodgates. Like, what is it all? Good intention. What is it? The road to hell was paved with good intentions.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it all you mean well, and it sounds good on paper, and then it turns into holy hellfire. Like, how did we get to this dumpster of a situation? And it's you know, it's not all their fault. Personally, I think mobile gaming was the true culprit, because you showed the world and all the gaming industry that, first off, more people have phones than gaming consoles, and then more people spend more time on their phones than gaming consoles, including PC. And you just showed that, hey, we make it addicting enough, just enough, and then we dangle the carrot in front of them, and we charge a price for that carrot.
Yeah, I see where you're going with that, but I don't know. I feel like Joe Schmo shouldn't get the blame for it, purely because the casual player is not as interested, should I say, in like the backstage. Like, they don't take a look at the developer's Twitter, or, you know, they don't follow like dev guides or whatever. Like, they just play the game and buy the new games when they see it on TV. True. And so, like, how are they? They're not activists, you know. So maybe, in a sense, they are kind of voting for, what is it? The turkey that voted for Christmas or something. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Go ahead.
But like I said, they're not. If they're not involved, how could they be blamed?
Because there's so many of them. That is, in my opinion, that's what the big problem is. Because Madden is the worst rated game on Metacritic, but yet it is one of the top selling games this year.
Yeah, because you know, just people don't care.
And because you got people who literally will own, and I'm not mad. Once again, it's not a mad thing. I'm not mad at these people. What you enjoy is what you enjoy. But you have, because you got to think, maybe the number's higher now just because more people game. But for the most part, I think the average console owner maybe buys 3 to 4 games a year.
Maybe so.
Yeah, because the average console owner plays the average games. You got your sports, you're running the sports games, whether it's 2K, whether it's basketball, football, baseball, hockey, or soccer. Like these games, like most, I mean, hell, I own 2 of the games I just mentioned. Oh, and then fighting, then UFC now. You got to throw that in there because Fight Night Boxing kind of fell off. And so now UFC gaming wise took over, and then you got wrestling. So that's 7 games. I own 3 of the 7 games that I'm telling you about. Now these are older versions, Because I decide, I understand how important voting with your dollar is, and I refuse to give these big companies my money every year just to update the roster and usually break the game more than they fix it and advance it. And you can see that with, once again, Madden being one of the most worst ranked games, but still being one of the most purchased. Why? Because they run the market. There is no other NFL game that's going to come out. They're the only one. And then people want the new. It's just human. People want the new shiny. And that's fine. And then this is the thing too. I wonder what the numbers look like, because I'm just going off of very general, just being very general. I wonder, I know it would be easier for the guy who only buys 3 games a year to justify getting the $100 special edition for Madden. That's an easy sell, right? Like, oh, I'm only buying this one game. I don't play nothing else besides Madden. Let me get the top tier. And then the next justification, well, I've been playing it for a few months. Oh, they got a player pack. Let me just spend the $10. What's $10? It's the only game I plan on playing. And you know what I mean? So now you get 1 million people doing that. And
maybe. But
that's usually what happens. I mean, Fortnite is a perfect example of that, but that's more because it's free to play.
I don't know. I feel like potentially the bigger crowd is the people who only buy 3 or 4 games a year because that's all that they can afford. Like, not saying that they're poor or anything. It's just they have other things to spend their money on, and so. If you only buy like 3 or 4 games a year, something tells me maybe you're not gonna flaunch another $10 on something as what I would say frivolous as a player pack, or something as frivolous as cosmetics in Fortnite or whatever. I think just going off of instinct, no real numbers. So if I'm totally wrong, whatever. But something tells me that audience is a little bit bigger than the 3-4 games a year, hey, why not just throw $10 more at it crowd.
What you're saying makes sense, but when you look at sales of like battle passes for Call of Duty, when you look at how often people are buying just think about how many random cosmetics you came across in Call of Duty. Like the ones that you didn't have and you're considered a hardcore gamer. Or all the different specialty kills. Or but that's not the point. What you're saying makes sense. I'm not here to argue with you about it. I just, from my experience and what I've seen, the idea of a battle pass didn't sit right with the hardcore gamers, because we're like, you guys are already nickel and diming us. You take things out of the game and you add this in and you force us to spend more money. Then you turn around and you still leave all these same microtransactions, but then you tell us it's harder to make games and you charge us $10 more on a brand new game, because a majority of people are going to buy it anyway. Like, I think if all the hardcore gamers said no more, it wouldn't even be enough to spill the bucket.
I don't know. Who was the one responsible for taking down EA's Battlefront 2 loot box fiasco?
The government. That was.
Oh, I know, but like, there was enough public outrage to spur them to do something about it, though, right?
Yes, and I think that was more or less kids. I think no, actually, what it was that one streamer who spent over $1,000, and it cost him over $1,000 to get the Darth Vader, and he recorded it, and then it went viral. And so social media played a huge part into it, because let's be real, if there wasn't social media to freaking bounce around that idea and constantly share it and everybody see it and be like, oh, you're right, And, you know, to really piggyback off of what happened, I doubt anything would have changed outside of the government stepping in like they did, and that was because of the whole gambling aspect. Because they literally made gambling into the game, except there was no payout, no financial payout.
Yeah.
And I think I think that was only in the UK. I don't even think it was all of Europe.
No, the Netherlands.
They were a part of it too.
Being strict about it.
Yeah, man, and it's no joke. Like, I get it. You know, you got some kid who takes all his birthday money, and all of a sudden takes the $100 he got for his birthday, and he puts it into his favorite Star Wars game, and he gets nothing but crap. Like
7 duplicate skins.
Yeah, like, bro, could you imagine? I'm so grateful I'm not a child growing up in today's gaming world, if I'm being 100% honest. Just because of the way, like, it's sad to think that this is the norm that a lot of people are growing up in. Like, the Fortnite structure, you know, the free-to-play bare bone. Well, it's a lot bigger than it once was, but, you know, the free-to-play heavy ads. Like, they're even adding real-world ads into games. Like, full-blown ads. Could you imagine paying $70 for a game, and then midway, right as a loading screen disappears, a Gatorade commercial pops up, like a legit Gatorade commercial, and then you can't skip it unless you have coins or whatever the currency is in game?
What game is this happening in?
I believe this happened in UFC and 2K. Correct me if I'm wrong, folks, in the comments.
Oh, I wouldn't have any idea on that then.
But what's crazy is because these games are so big and so well bought and sold on the casual surface, that these ideas are tested and they see how they go, and then they roll them over into other games. Like, I mean, hell, CD Projekt Red is now getting ready to have microtransactions in their multiplayer. What spurred that idea on? You know what I mean? Fallout 4 and the I forgot what the store, was it the Atomic Shop?
Yeah, that was 76.
Oh, then what was the other one with the where they had paid mods?
Creation Club.
You know what I mean? Like, here it is. You got a company who built itself up on the whole idea of selling a game and then selling you on, and then if we want to make extra money, we sell you a very large expansion.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're making money on mods that would normally be free if you played them on PC.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I think the way they tried to spin it is, or like christening, like if it like mods that they really liked and stuff like that. But yeah, I do get the point of it. There's no reason they need to charge for them.
It's crazy.
Yeah, especially since they didn't even make it.
That's what I'm saying. And then let's be real here. How much are you really giving the person who created it? Like, are you really going to give them more than 50%? No, because I can already hear the argument. Well, you built it on our engine, you built and it's sold on our platform, and it's using our assets. So actually, here's a coupon for a free slice of pizza.
Only redeemable at our store.
Yeah, and then you have to buy a drink full price first in order to redeem. Like, and as crazy as that sounds, it's not that far off.
Yeah, it's like the what's that meme? It's just like, oh, they only paid me like such and such, and then they're like, oh really? I got paid even less than that. And then the third guy said, y'all got paid?
Yeah, that was the worst. But yeah, man, we're actually hitting that final minute. This actually went pretty fast.
Yeah, it did.
I hope the audio is really good.
Cover?
I know, right? We just talked. I really hope the audio was good, and I apologize to those who are out there listening. I really do. Sorry for the echo. I don't know what it is. We'll make sure to have it figured out for next week, and we'll get back on our regular schedule in terms of podcasting. It's not Johnny's fault. It's absolutely my fault. My schedule's been hectic, and I've decided to sleep more. So that's kind of how that all played out. But I am BaronJ67.
And I am Johnny.
And this has been StarCrossed Gamers. Much love. Peace.
Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen.